Monsieur Vincenti, you have the floor. Okay.
Thank you. So the goal of the presentation this morning is to give you some information on press relations. As you may know, this is a lever that is used in communication for a long time, and one of the most still powerful in France, of course, as many other countries. What is important to remember is that in Europe, from one country to the other, the rules and the way to deal with media and journalists is not the same. That's why I think it's important to have this presentation this morning, to try to give you some insight and some view on how do French journalists behave and work. So I'll start with a quick few words about Oxygen. Oxygen is an agency that was created late 90s, almost 15 years next year. Basically, we are specialized in press relations. We are not doing much after this, and we are covering a lot of sectors. I'll come back to that just after. Few figures on the agency. Today we are 50 people. We have between 130 and 150 active customers. We have one office in San Francisco. One of the strengths of the agency is to be located in many areas in France. We have the main office in Paris, of course, but we have 5 other offices in all the corners, if I can say, of France. And our revenue last year was around 4 million euros. So as I told you, the first focus of the agency is PR, and we cover all sectors, because we believe that the value added and the strength is more in the way we behave and deal with PR than the fact that we are specialized in IT or marketing or tourism or whatever. So we have references in all sectors. When we go outside France, we rely on a network of independent agencies in most of all Europe countries, but also in Latin America, in Asia, Middle East, and we have, as I said earlier, our own office in San Francisco. So that's it for the presentation of Oxygen. Now I'll try to give you an overview on the pillars that make PR working, and try to explain you why is PR helping you to build your image and your notoriety, when we recommend to use the PR tool, and how to use it in an effective way, in France at least. So basically, the PR tool is able to bring you some coverage depending on the different media you can reach. You can use PR to enhance your messages and get some exposure in return. Of course, like in all the other countries, you have different media available, online, offline media, TV, radio, and more digital media. So what we used to say about PR is that you get more credibility than advertising. The return on investment is much better. I'll come back on that later on. The returns you get tend to give more trust and engagements. There are some drawbacks, as usual. You cannot get only plus, you have also minuses. You have little control on what the journalist is gonna write or publish. you do your best to give him all the data for him to do good job, but sometimes it doesn't work. And this, you can't do anything, and we as an agency are powerless in front of this, so you have to keep this in mind. Sometimes you do everything right and nothing comes out. You have to remember this as well. It's not every time 100% success rate, and you need also to remember that it's a long-term process. Don't expect PR to raise your brand or image in few weeks or months. It's something that has to be worked on the long term. So why is PR effective? It's pretty simple. You rely on journalists which are neutral. They have a free will, they have legitimacy, and when they speak about you, they have some credit, and much more credit than when you do, for instance, advertising. So that's why PR is one of the most effective tools to work on image and awareness and brand awareness. That's something you should remember. And when you have nice story, when you have innovation, and we'll come back on the occasion, you can use PR. It's really a great lever to use. So, at what occasion you may want to use PR? For instance, in setting up a business in France. First of all, when you are looking for investors. PR is a great way to let people know that you are looking for money to start new business and to expand and develop. When you want to differentiate in mature markets from competitors, and that you have some key differentiators, it's a nice tool as well. Of course, anytime you start something new, you launch a new product or a new service, you can use PR. You have to remember as well that when you face crisis, it's good to control your message and to be able to fascinate and give the right explanations to your customers, even internally or to the market. So it's better to have the leadership on what is being said about you. To reach influencers as well when you need to give some market or technology view, and it's also in many occasions journalists are looking for experts in all the markets I mentioned earlier. Should it be in finance, in utilities, or whatever? When you believe you have some good speakers, don't hesitate to promote them and to make them meet with the media. So it looks simple in theory, except that you are not alone. Of course, all competitors are trying to get their return and results and clippings as well. So it's important to remember that there is usually a space, a media space for your activity, for your sector, and it depends on the way and the effectiveness of your PR activity that you'll be able to position and to rank in the first people that are becoming the reference as far as your activities is concerned. So it looks simple, but remember that you have a lot of potential competitors that will take the opportunity to speak on your behalf when they can. So I'm going to present you very briefly the tools in France that remain the reference. The press release is really something that exists for I don't know, 30, 40 years, and that is still being used. Of course, when you are using the press release, you have to respect and follow some precise codes and layout as far as the presentation is concerned. So you can see on the screens the major points. I won't go into the details, but beyond the form, remember that you have to stay as objective as possible. Don't put too much marketing in it. Okay, don't sell it. It's up to the journalist to decide if he wants or not to do the promotion for you, right? So if you are too much in a marketing or communication, aggressive promotion mode, it will not work. Stay simple, make short sentences, and try to go straight to the point. Usually, don't go over 2 pages, because if it's too long, anyway, the journalist will not go through the document. So the press release is used for most of the announcements, should it be company creation, product launch, whatever. There are other variations of the PR tool. You have the flash press. Basically, you keep the codes of the PR, you make it shorter, and you focus it on one key information or figure or fact that you want to push to the media, and this is the flash press. Opinion piece is when somebody in the company is taking the flag and showing expertise, should it be on technology or market view, to explain how, I don't know, finance or euro versus dollar is going to go, or in any area, you can give your opinion on what's going to happen, or what you predict as a vision. This is an opinion piece, and it works very well in specialized press. Last but not least is the business case. Business case is a great PR tool. Basically, instead of you explaining what are the benefits of your product or solution, you are asking an end customer to do it at your place. So it gives more credibility and weight to the message, and the journalist is eager to take it, because it's not directly you, it's somebody else that is presenting what the reason why they took that service, what was the problematic at the beginning, and the results they got, good results they got ideally in the end. So business case is really something that works. Not that easy to set up, because it's a third-party work. You need to make sure that the end customer is happy to go. But when you get there, it's really working well. The ultimate goal of PR is to be able to put you, customers, in front of journalists. Remember that a journalist is not willing to talk to the agency; he is willing to talk to the company, to the specialists. So the first step you have to get to is to get direct relation with the journalist and be able to have an interview. So when you get the interview, there are few rules to follow. Of course, prepare it. That's obvious, but it still happens. Where you get somebody to the interview and he didn't prepare. So preparing is, of course, being able to summarize the key messages you want to pass through, but also to be able to know what the journalist is used to write, what kind of subject he likes to cover, to look at what were the last publications he did, and so on, to make sure that you have a good exchange. And as far as the interview itself is concerned, of course, try to speak slowly, make sure that you are understood, and although the journalist may have prepared on his side, remember that you have some key messages to pass through. okay? Because he may take you on other subjects, and in the end, you realize that the interview went well, but you didn't pass the messages. So that's always a balance. Press event, I think this is probably the first request for most of our customers. We want to do a press event. Why not? If you are Apple, Microsoft, or the big guns, yes, you can do a press event. You really must have major and very important news to announce if you want to do it when you have a smaller brand awareness than the names I've given you. It's very difficult to get journalists to a same room at the same time nowadays. So that's why the news has to really be cracking to get them to the press conference. There are other formats that are easier to organize and working well. The breakfasts, so gathering people like we do this morning, few of them, 3, 5, 8 people for a breakfast. It's more informal. It's less difficult to organize, and it works very well. And the other way is also, instead of asking them to come, is to go to them and to organize over few days some rendezvous and to meet them directly in the press offices or in the redaction. So a quick overview of the French journalist, quick profile, usually self-made man, so make the message simple, no spam, try to be focused and to deliver him information that he matters. I'm sorry, but you have to speak French with French journalists. We are in that way very old-fashioned. Sorry. Try to remember that French media are it's crisis as well for media in France. Less time, more stuff to do. So time is key. So go straight to the point. Don't use marketing codes, as I said. And in France, 7 journalists out of 10 are connected. So they use Twitter, they use social media. So that's also a way to keep in touch and to manage the relation with them. I'll go very rapidly through. Yeah, I have to. Okay, so just very quickly remember that depending on the type of media you are targeting, there are some tools, tricks to use. For instance, when you are targeting consumer press, the content is critical, but the form is important as well. More for this type of press. Remember as well that there are some key rendezvous during the year. In French, we call that the marronnier. It's, for instance, the Mother's Day, Christmas, Valentine's Day. There are at many occasions, journalists are preparing some files, some dossiers, and you have to be aware of these dates and make sure that if you have to stick a new service or a product, you fit to this big dossier. And as I said earlier, try to be to vulgarize the speech and to make information accessible and simple. For professional press, one of the best tool is the business case. I think I told you that it's a very effective tool. So if you can do it, it works very well. The opinion piece work as well when you are specialized on a given market or sector. Don't hesitate to give your opinion to the press. News and corporate. Here, the journalists are very interested in data, in figures. It's your business. So if you want to get coverage in this type of press, you must bring a nice story, explain your history, your plans, and ideally put some figures on. TV and radio, not the easiest one to work with. It's possible, of course. The only thing I'd like you to remember about this one is that you need to come with something completely packaged. You need to bring the scenario to the journalist and tell him, here is the topic I want to cover, here are the speakers, here is the way we'd like to cover it, and that's the way they may decide to take it. Of course, why is it interesting? Because you may cover 10 million people in one communication. Don't forget there are other influencers than journalists in France. The bloggers are getting more and more importance. Although you cannot mix bloggers and journalists, the way to behave and to liaise with these people is different from journalists. It's a one-to-one approach, usually through email or Twitter, and you have to be creative in the way you give them information. Don't be too intrusive or insistent. I'll do the conclusion with a business case. Trusted Shop is a German company. It's a service provider for securing e-commerce shops that came to us 2 years ago because they were willing to break into the French market with one very well established French competitor, Fianet. So they basically came to us to help them raise their brand awareness and image in France. So we had to support the launch of their activity in France. We set up a plan with meetings, with 2 press releases every month sent to different categories of media. We also did a proactive detection of editorial opportunities to allow them to take the voice and speak on the shopping security topics. And the results we got is that more or less over 2 years, more than 500 clippings, with more than half of them were dedicated, so completely focused on Trusted Shop and the significant visibility. So when you really bring something, when you have a nice story to say, and when you respect the codes and the tools, it works, even for foreign companies. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your presentation, and you said very simple things, but also sophisticated. And